Alright guys, this thing is finally done. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I know you guys have too. So let's get right to it. Let me show you how this thing powers on, and I'll get it warmed up, and then we'll do a test roast. So over here on the control panel, we've got the main power. So I just press that, and supplies power to the control panel and also to the PID. And then over here we've got the drum, so that powers up the drum motor, and then the cooling fan or exhaust fan, this guy over there. So, and then up top we have the control knobs here, so that'll control the speed. So there's the drum right there, and then this one is the exhaust fan speed. You can hear that thing spooling up. So this setup's a little bit temporary right now. I'll eventually have a container on the bottom of this dust collector, and then over here I just have a basket from the, I think it's called a Aleo, maybe I'm saying that wrong, the Bullet. It's a little compact roaster that's kind of new to the market, but I was able to buy essentially a replacement basket. So I'm going to build a little enclosure around it and probably put an exhaust fan in there, and that'll be my cooling tray. So there's still a few things in the works, but for the most part it's done. So let me power this thing up and then get it warmed up, and then we'll be ready to do a test roast. Alright guys, so we're at our target temp, or just about. So the way this thing's programmed right now, it's not in PID mode, it's in kind of like a manual mode. So once it hits the set value or the set temperature, it shuts off. So it overshoots the set value slightly because the heaters still have, or the heating elements still have a lot of heat in them. And then the exhaust fan essentially starts cooling the drum down after the elements turn off. So then it'll kind of go a little bit below the set value, but all in all it maintains it pretty well. So that's kind of how I have it set up now. I might go in later and mess with some settings on the PID, but anyway, I got the laptop set up over here with Artisan, so we're almost ready to charge the drum. And I've got some organic Peruvian beans from Sweet Maria's that we're going to be roasting today. I've got about a ½ pound or 225 grams weighed out that we're going to be roasting today. So let me check on our temperature over here. So yeah, I'm going to let that climb up a little more till we hit or approach 380, and then I will charge the drum and we'll get going. Alright guys, so we're almost at our set temperature, so I'm going to go ahead and pour the beans in the hopper and we will charge the drum. Let me just go over here and turn this thing on, go to start and charge. We'll go over here and let the beans in. So you can see immediately the temperature starts dropping dramatically, and that's because the beans are at room temperature. So when they get in there and they hit the thermocouple, it causes the reading to drop. But that'll stabilize, and then we'll get a turnaround here on the graph. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn the drum speed up just a hair. So it looks like it's starting to stabilize, and it's going to turn around here in just a minute. But yeah, that was the turning point right there. So looks like 1:50 and 279.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So temp should start climbing now. So the next event is going to be the end of drying. So gotta get ready to hit that so we can mark it on the graph. That should probably take another minute or two. So we can go over here to the trier and see how we're looking. So still pretty green. So up here it's estimating that our dry time, or the end of dry, is going to be almost 4 minutes. So we're about 3.5. We'll see how accurate that is. So I can already see that they're starting to get some color. They're going from a green to a light straw. So let's check them on the trier. Still a little bit of green, but for the most part they're almost turning a light brown. So I'm going to call that dry right there. So you could see the curve kind of flattened out just a little bit right there, and I think that's because I pulled the tryer out and the roaster sucked in some cold air. So that's probably why that had a little dip in it, but we won't worry about that. So we're approaching 5 minutes now. I think I'm gonna do a lighter roast, so I'm thinking maybe 30 seconds after the end of first crack, I'll drop them. You can see our rate of rise is kind of all over the place. So it's predicting that first crack's gonna start at 10 minutes. I think it's gonna start sooner than that, but we'll just wait and see. Let's go over here on the tryer and see what we're looking like. Oh yeah, they're already starting to darken quite a bit. And you can see it flatten out there. I think that's because I pulled the tryer. No biggie. So I think that's the beginning of first crack. Yeah. Let's mark that. So yeah, it happened way sooner than it predicted. We're only at 7 minutes 20 seconds. I think it was saying 10 minutes or something like that. So you can see we're starting to get some smoke. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe the camera's picking it up. So we're starting to slow down. You just hear a few little pops here and there. So I'm gonna call that end of first crack. So I think at 9 minutes I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna give it just a little bit more. All right, I think we're good there. So I'm just going to take this outside to my cooling fan and get it all cooled down. Alright, there we go. So after a couple minutes of cooling, the beans are all cooled down to about room temp. And you can see it's a really nice even roast. I'm pretty stoked. It kind of worked better than I expected it to. So it's kind of a little bit difficult to do this and hold the camera and all that stuff. So I didn't get to pay as much attention to the roast as I wanted to, but I think it still turned out pretty good. So there's our graph. I don't know why the rate of rise is all weird like that, but you can see the actual bean temp curve is pretty good. And then right there where we dropped it, obviously the temperature dropped because we had the door open. But yeah, things are looking pretty good. This thing is on its cooling cycle, so I turned the fan speed up so it draws a lot more air through the roaster. Turned the heating elements down to 80 degrees, so those should be cooling off. And I got the hopper gate open, so that's pulling air through and cooling off the drum and the roasting chamber. So that's gonna wrap things up. Appreciate you guys watching. If you got any comments, go ahead and leave those down below, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see some more videos. Thanks again. See you later.